Hello. So it's Wednesday evening. It's 9 o'clock and I'm standing in the market square in Atherstone. There it is, look. And I'm under a tree because it's raining. And we had this evening full council meeting and a lot of very procedural kind of things. It's quite tedious in a lot of ways. Is that you go through all of the minutes of the boards and you look at accepting the resolutions that they've come up with. And similarly as well, then there was another motion. This motion, if you watched the summary of last time, when we talked about the makeup of the council and the controlling groups and so forth, you may remember that there was a motion put forward by the Labour group, it's 9 o'clock, around the reopening of the local plan. The local plan considers many things, but the greatest issue of contention is always around housing and where houses are going to be built within North Warwickshire. So at the last meeting, the Labour group brought a motion that they wanted the local plan reopened, and then they withdrew it at the meeting, and you could see the consternation that caused, particularly with the Dordon Independents, as they're now known as a group. And particularly from the Conservatives, and you could see that there were a lot of cast eyes going backwards and forwards. Well, the Dordon Independents submitted a motion of a very similar kind of nature around reopening the local plan once government proposals and new guidelines had come out. And the debate that followed was weird. It was, because you had the Conservatives, who had just the month before, at my first ever meeting in that council chamber, and I spoke on this, spoke for the first time at council meeting tonight. I'll put the link on YouTube. They put together, they were arguing vehemently against the reopening of the local plan. There were councillors there, senior councillors, you know, of their leadership teams, those who are on the dais, who turned around and would say, "Why are you doing this? It takes 30 months, it costs £500,000, why are we reopening it? Blah, 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 blah." And yet today, and I asked why they'd changed their mind, and they couldn't say, or they chose not to say. But similarly, there were speakers, again, up on the dais, and they pointed out that the plan as it was, and they were almost defensive about it, saying, you know, it costs £500,000, it's the largest ever consultation had been undertaken, and this, that and the other had been done on it. And yet they voted to reopen it and review it. So the voting, when it actually came, and I had no idea, literally no idea, because the speeches that people made did not automatically follow through to the way that they chose to vote, with the exception of, obviously, the Dordon Independents, who proposed and seconded the motion, and possibly myself, because I asked for information that wasn't forthcoming. So the vote, when it happened, is those in favour of opening the local plan, which may involve the reassessment and reallocation of housing, which may include the building of housing on Greenbelt land, 17 votes, which was the Conservatives and the Dordon Independents. Voting against any plan that might mean that Water-Orton now has to take even more housing than it presently has when we've met our allocation in the existing plan to developments that are there. Voting against, 1 vote. Hello. And the vote abstentions, which was Labour, was 13 votes. So there will be a review of the local plan that involves the allocation of housing and housing plans for an ongoing period. It's not going to happen quick, and obviously I will now, even though I voted against it, I will be engaging with that process fully to try and make sure that any process done is fair and equitable towards Water-Orton. However, you may want to go and look at people's election leaflets and say, well, we're taking these steps about protecting the green belt. Well, the fact is, you said you already had, and that was your proof, and now you're voting against it. Why? Well, it's nothing as sinister as you may think, but it's quite clear where the alignments of the groups are. So I will be publishing my full voting record, although I've effectively told you what it is because everything else was just motions, on my website. I have weekly surgeries, and if you like this video, subscribe, share, like, or whatever, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.